prominent South African political journalist and author Ray Hartley is joining Jerusha and I in studio. Now he's going to introduce us to his brand new novel, Ragged Glory. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, yeah.
How's the book tour going?
Fantastic. It's been very exciting. We've had a great series of events and launches, so the book is launched.
Woo, it's taken flight. Now, what kind of feedback have you been getting on this tour about Ragged Glory?
I think a lot of people are very interested in understanding where is South Africa at the moment. You know, are we on a steep decline? Is it all unraveling? There's lots of questions like that. I'm detecting that people want answers. They want to actually try and understand what's going on, and try and get the state of the nation. So that's the sort of question that I've been answering. And Julius Malema, what does that mean? What is that all about? Those are the sorts of questions that I've been getting.
Now, let's just get right into it then. Yeah. What do you tell those people when they ask you, is South Africa in a state of decline?
Yeah, I mean, the title of the book is Ragged Glory, so there's glory. I think we've got to remember that we've come a very long way in 20 years, and that we have very solid institutions of democracy. We've had 5 consecutive democratic elections. And, you know, we've got a public protector who's very active. We have a judicial system. Just the other day, the courts gave the opposition the spy tapes potentially could lead to the prosecution of the president. So these institutions are there and the constitution's there. But it's ragged. It's frayed at the edges. There's some very powerful people who would like to see, would like to see the values of this society change to a much more accumulationist, materialistic, patronage-based political system, and they're getting the upper hand at the moment, I think.
In fact, Ray, you've seen some of this ragged glory in your own newspaper. You've had journalists arrested, threatened, and we've almost sort of seen it unfold in the pages of Sunday Times. Yeah,
I think that's a very good observation, and I write about it in the book. You know, to actually be in the Supreme Court in the dead of night, trying to get your journalist out of jail, makes you think twice about the state of the nation. Because back in the day, more than 20 years ago, I was quite often hanging around in the courts when people were detained, and in the anti-apartheid struggle, that you would go to court and try and get them out. And you know that this is happening now. You know, it's just wrong. But I think that it has shifted since then. I think that there is now an awareness that was over the top. Mzilikazi wa Afrika, you know, was paid out for wrongful arrest, and he's now written a book as well.
Now, in spite of all of this, you seem still very optimistic about the country.
Yeah, I'm very optimistic. I mean, I think we have a system, a very powerful democratic system in place. I think that if politicians abuse the system, and if they alienate people, they're going to get voted out. And you're starting to see election margins are shrinking in certain places. So there's a lot more political competition in Johannesburg area, in Gauteng, in the Eastern Cape, Port Elizabeth. And the ruling party has to ask itself, you know, can we carry on like this? We might just find that we're losing big parts of our political power base. So that ultimately is what's going to, I think, sober them up to compete effectively in the political arena.